attention to the people behind the curtain.
Are we live now?
Oh. Expect me to know everything?
I have a little thing up on my screen that says you can release your video order here.
Release your video order?
I have no idea what that means.
I mean, do you have to like approve for us to be live? I have a Britney Spears circuit. We are live. Britney Spears circus stuck in my head.
All right.
All right.
There's worse things that have stuck in your head. All right. So,
John just looked like Baby Yoda eating a frog right there.
Yeah,
A very specific description.
it is.
Everyone wants to talk about Baby Yoda eating things.
since he's a monster. But so this session is going to be the leveling up session, as we mentioned last time, so that we can make sure that everyone has spells, options, and
I am super excited for my 24 hit points.
Yeah.
not falling unconscious after 2 hits.
Yeah, it'll be lovely.
It'll be novel. Also, we could talk about with the, because all of you are spellcasters, so all of you get fancy new spells and options with that. But it's also a good point to bring up like a party dynamics. Like in MMOs and whatnot, there's like a tank, a DPS, damage per second guy, a control person, buffs, debuffs, and utility kind of things. And as you pick these spells, it's good to keep in mind what you want to accomplish with your particular character.
Yeah.
Like Gully initially started off with like friendship as a cantrip and stuff like that, allowing her to be a little bit more the social character. So I'm wanting to know what you guys, after picking first level spells and everything, where do you see your character currently directing outward into?
I mean, I see my character tanking.
Yeah, since everybody else is squishy as heck.
Yeah. So I probably should look at some, and I know druids have some options for being tankish.
All right. And Gully, I've noticed that you've been charging creatures, shoving your hands into their eye sockets and burning things to death. So
Yeah, there's been a lot of that. I mean, I still think that the charisma is good if I'm running for office, but granted, like I have pretty high charisma without those spells. So maybe it kind of seems like I'm the first line of action, which is very funny since I'm 3 feet tall.
I know.
But maybe some like strong spells that way would be good.
The wizard barbarian.
Archie said hi to everybody, and that's how we're doing.
Archie,
Hi, Archie.
we are trying to
We bring up that.
keep mellow with hectic schedules at the end of the year, and everything,
Holly
it's-
jolly year end.
we're trying to end on a jolly note.
So we have Hey Hey,
Yes.
whose comb keeps falling down.
And John, what are you imagining for Quinto?
Fully into serial killer mode.
Full serial killer. Okay.
Yeah, very like the altruistic, high morality serial killer.
Okay. Hi. Okay.
I'm very excited to like accept my seat as part of the cult and bring in members. I think that sounds delightful.
It's awesome.
Alrighty then. So first things first, something that is blanket for everybody here since you're all spellcasters. Your number of spell slots increase for just about everything. So you guys can now cast 4 first level spells per day. And you guys also get 2 second level spells per day.
I don't even have any second level spells.
I don't have any second level spells either.
Right.
How many second level
Yeah.
spells can I prepare?
Well, preparing for the cleric and the druid are exactly the same. You can prepare a number of spells equal to your wisdom modifier plus level. So you guys are 3rd level. So whatever your wisdom modifier
So
is
I
plus 3.
I get, 6 total?
I get 6 too that I have to prepare.
Yes. And that's in addition to your
Cantrip.
church spells. Yes. What were you saying?
So I get 6 total or 6 of each spell level.
No, you get 6 total that you can prepare per day. So at the beginning of the day, you kind of harmonize with nature and you pick which 6 you want to have harmoniously with your being. That does not include your cantrips. Cantrips are kind of separate.
Okay. How many cantrips do I get?
You do. You guys only have 2 cantrips each right now.
But I have.
You get an additional one because you picked spores, I think.
Oh,
Chill touch, you get 3 spores.
cool. Cool beans.
And John also gets more than 6 spells prepared because of his domain stuff. He gets blur and suggestion auto prepared, so he doesn't have to worry about having
What does blur do?
those spells handy. We'll get to all that.
Got some.
I got rice.
Yeah.
Either
Either that or you like visited a back alley somewhere. You got it.
Great. So, also after adjusting your number of spell slots per day, following my notes, I also want you guys to be like right in a very clear, obvious spot. Your spell attack bonus and your spell save DC, wherever you guys will.
Like right there.
Like right there. It should be 10 plus wisdom modifier is your save DC right now.
Is this the same for all 3 of us, or?
Yes, this is
Well,
the same.
Hers isn't.
Well,
wisdom.
yours is intelligence.
So what is it? I'm sorry.
Your spell save DC is 10 plus your intelligence modifier.
I have mine.
Okay. And your spell attack bonus is 2 plus intelligence modifier.
Yeah, mine show up in D&D Beyond, so that's good.
Non-sponsored.
Also, because Gully doesn't have a player's handbook, I want you to be able to have access to your spells, since it's knowing what you can do is important. Do you have access to D&D Beyond? There's also several spell apps.
I also did send you the PDF of it at one point. It's probably in our Slack chat.
Yeah, I can sign up for D&D Beyond.
But yeah, that way you guys have quick and easy reference material for your spells, which is helpful. So,
Do our breath weapons ever do any more damage?
yes,
Woo!
they do.
This
Let's figure
level?
out when that happens.
Oh.
CD Dragonborn come after, but do. And no, they increase at 6th level.
Ew.
All right. So
It's a dex save for that, right?
depends. For you, yes, it's Dex. Now, just so that we go in some type of order, and I want to give John a little bit more time to eat. Gully, let's talk about.
I'm setting up D&D Beyond. I should not go first.
Okay. Alicia, let's start with you. So that John
Okay.
has time to eat and Gully has time to sign up. Now, druids get lots of cool spells at 2nd level. A few of the ones that you should keep in mind are, well, you have access to all druid spells. You just need to change them out at the beginning of the day and whatnot. But you get Spike Growth, which is the closest thing to a trap spell.
Other
You
than
cause Entangle just makes it difficult terrain and grapples them, it restrains them. Spike Growth, you make an area difficult terrain so it doesn't grapple, but creatures that wander into it take damage. So you can be like, oh no, we need to run away. You set up this Spike Growth behind you and anything that wanders through it takes damage. Are you okay? There's also Pass Without a Trace, so that if you guys are trying to navigate through the jungle, you can be discreet. It grants you guys like +10 to stealth check as a group.
Is Moonbeam the awesome one that what's her face and C team uses that like causes a
Pillar of light.
pillar of light and it like hurts everything,
It hurts the creatures that it's over. Yes.
including your allies though.
Yes.
John, what are you using?
He is an effervescing unicorn. In
I
addition
should
to
have
that,
done this with you guys beforehand because there's all these questions when setting up the character. Like we should have done this ahead of time.
I can also
That's fine.
resend you the PDF for now.
Okay.
whenever we were doing in-person games, a lot of these things would have been not quite as relevant. There's also a few spells that I think are beneficial to you as a druid, but I'll wait for you to finish sending this.
If I can. They like changed my rules.
You easily distracted person.
What do you want from me? You can keep talking.
You're paying attention?
Enough.
Okay. Well, we're doing your spell
All right.
review so that we know what's going on.
I can just search for it in the thing, Alicia.
Okay.
All right. There's also a few spells that could be used in conjunction with your wild shape.
Really?
Well,
Is
yes.
it like beast sense?
Well, no. You can always use spell slots in beast form to heal yourself. But
I thought I couldn't.
in wild shape, you can restore hit points. That's basically all you can do with spell slots.
Okay.
However, you can cast spells ahead of time and concentrate on them and then transform. So something like Flame Blade, you could cast Flame Blade to give yourself this fiery attack thing, transform into a monkey, and then go climbing and wailing things with a Flame Blade. You have to have a hand for that. You can also use Bark Skin ahead of time and then transform into a beast and be a bark-skinned creature. And if you're playing to tank, Bark Skin gives you an AC of 16 regardless of anything else. So it's nice. Another thing, which is a utility in addition to other things, is Heat Metal. And that's a druid-specific spell where you just look at something and be like, I don't want you holding onto the sword. You heat up his sword, or if they're wearing like full plate armor or something, you can make their armor heat up and make them slow cook.
There's also enhanceability.
Which just generally is useful. I need you to be as cunning as a fox. You give it to him. If John is trying to manipulate the mayor, you can be like, you need to be a little bit more charismatic right now. You can give him a charisma boost and advantage on those. And vice versa and so forth. Also,
Can I
if
use bark skin on myself?
you can. And you can use that and then transform into an animal, and that 16 AC carries over.
All right. Cool. So should I look through these while you
Yes.
talk to somebody else?
So those are the big ones I think would be beneficial to you, especially with you wanting to go tank or more in-person combat stuff. Gully, Meg, have you downloaded D&D Beyond?
I'm trying the sheet that I can't find it in our Slack messages with that. And then I started trying to build the character on D&D Beyond, but I'm on the first question, which is your race. And we have it listed on my sheet that I'm a forest gnome, and it's saying that's not even an option. There's like a rock gnome or a deep gnome.
Mm-hmm. Is there a way to just use the spell list without needing to make a character?
I don't know.
All right, I finally figured out how to send it, Meg, but it's 10 megabytes. So, or no, it's 107 megabytes. So that's
Me-
probably why it's not.
Could just put it on the drive somewhere.
I like your TV. You
That
could just make like a D&D folder on the drive.
there already is. There's a Holy Hops folder on the drive. Let me do that.
But yeah, I figured that these level up sessions could be a time for us to actually do these fiddly things so that the normal games run a little bit smoother. So this is okay.
I mean, having a D&D Beyond would be nice because then it would all be right there. But
Yeah.
unless like after you guys build your character, so you don't have to sit there if like Caleb wants to walk me through like what answers, because the very first question is like which like game contents do you want to allow, and like I don't know, like should like the weight of your coin affect you, just like a lot of specific things I don't necessarily know. I don't know how, John, did you just like how did you do it when you did it?
I just winged it a little bit. And then to me, the most important thing was just to be able to have my hit points, the dice, and my spells and all, and the correct numbers and everything. So a lot of it, I just winged it and just to get it done.
Okay, like if I click on rock gnome, is that going to be wildly different than the forest gnome?
No, you can use that, and whenever you're putting in the ability scores, just put in the ability scores you have on your character, and it should be fine.
Everything's changeable, Meg, so you can modify things, whatever you want to modify.
I've never touched D&D Beyond.
You should make an episode where you go through and build a character, so if people are watching, they like see how to do it.
I really like John's TV.
It's nice.
Where did you get frames from for it?
They're in Zoom now by default.
Really?
Yeah. You can even do a tiny little TV.
You're having too much fun.
It's under like virtual background
Yeah,
or video filter.
video filter. It's under both, but you can do it.
Well, Caleb's gonna get mad at me if I keep fiddling with that.
Yep. True.
All right, Meg, I'm going to Slack you a
A
link.
link to the great.
And I imagine that once we figure out all the digital tools, it will be nice and easier, but I'm really, it's weird that you can't just write in your own forest gnome.
They want you to buy all the like rules. So like for me, when I set up my character, they wanted me to buy which one is the Spore Druid?
Alicia, did you send it? It just says you're typing. Oh, there you go.
They wanted me to buy that book to be able to set myself as a Spore Druid.
Mm.
So that's
I don't have access to this folder. I just requested it from you. Yeah, it's like even right now, it's trying to tell me that by leveling up to level 3, my hit points would only be 14 when they should like
You can
now we're
modify
at
those
21. So
All
I
that
think it
stuff
would
you
be
can modify.
yeah, I think it would be nice to have, but I don't think it's like makes sense for this time. Like that's something to have set up for next time.
All right. But can you at least click on the spells so that you can look at them while we talk about the spells?
No, you can't click on anything until you set up a character, but Alicia's sending me that thing right now.
Which
That's
you
what I
should
just
have
requested
access now.
access to.
Okay.
Archie, are you still there? Just
Yeah,
out
this
of
is-
curiosity. This is like a weird episode.
We've had a few of those lately.
We have. Yeah, the time change and then the re-locking down everything really kind of broke our stride a little bit there. We were doing so good.
Digital games are personally frustrating. So
Hold on, it's saying it's too large to preview, and I have to download it.
Sometimes.
I should have just shared my screen with the text on it.
That would have been nice. Okay, here we go. I gotta find the right page. So what am I looking for exactly? Just
all the spells are in the very back of the book in alphabetical order.
You can search
But-
wizard spells. The PDF is searchable. I did it in books.
However, if you go to page 210, it actually lists the spells available to you. And it's good to just keep an eye out for things that sound interesting and fun.
Alicia, P.S. Did you see Ready Player 2 came out last week?
I've already started it.
Oh boy. All right.
I did see it came out.
The book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the first one was garbage.
The first one was amazing, and I will fight you on this. Alicia's already told me how much you hated it. I love that book. The movie is garbage. The book is amazing.
I agree with
The
you.
movie solved a lot of the problems that the book had.
No, the movie went completely off script and started talking about The Shining.
Yeah, that's fair. That might be why I like it more.
There's no accounting for taste, Caleb.
Clearly.
You said 260? Is that the page you said?
210.
Great. Okay.
I look like a little goblin. So I'm like hunched over my iPad reading spells.
Okay.
What?
So, John,
Yes.
do you have any questions before we,
No,
since
I'm
you're
good.
done eating?
I'm good. I changed my hit points. Everything else adjusted on D&D Beyond. My slots are appropriate. I just need to fill in whatever spells I'm going to be doing.
Right. Now, with you being a beer cleric,
Yep.
there's many ways they can flavor your spells thematically. But it's a good idea just to have an idea of what's available to you. You clearly have Blur and Suggestion always available. Suggestion allows you to be like, hey, that's a bad idea, friend. Maybe you should go for a walk, or maybe you should go do this, that, or the other. And they make a saving throw, and if it's reasonable, they do whatever you ask them to do. Like, today's a bad day for us to fight. You should just go home. It's a great stopping and redirecting spell. Blur makes someone really hard to hit. So if you want to be very supportive of like the druid or gully for some reason jumping into melee, you can be like them very fuzzy and harder to hit. And you can flavor your spells with like you throw beer over them, and as the beer touches them, magic gets infused and light glistens off of them, fragmenting, making them harder to visibly see.
Okay.
Now there's also a slew of spells that are just cleric staples that you just need to be aware of. And since this is your first time playing a cleric and Archie hasn't read through all the books, I would imagine, it's just good to cover some of these spells so that you know what they are and have them in mind as you're going on adventures. There's the spell Aid, which gives you and your friends 5 more hit points. Straight up. It's not temporary hit points, it just increases your max hit points, making all of you a lot more resilient.
Okay.
Augury is I don't know if this is a good idea or not. I will ask the spirits. And you pour one out for the homies, and the spirits let you know whether or not it's a good idea what you're about to do. Wheel, woe, uncertain. It's a very cleric thing that gives you some out-of-game insight. Lesser Restoration. This is a clerics and druids also have it, I believe.
Yes, that's the other one I was going to look at. Thank you.
It's an amazing spell that it removes the poison condition. It removes disease. It removes a lot of bad, nasty things like blindness, deafness. So as horrible things happen to you, you can resolve it.
But it doesn't heal.
It does not heal. It instead just removes debuffs on your person.
Okay.
A spiritual weapon. You summon a giant tankard or some keg or something beer related and bludgeon someone to death with it.
I like that.
And it goes off of your spell attack, so it's not based around your lovely mace damage. It's obnoxiously overpowered. It's a solid spell. A Zone of Truth. For the serial killer in you, you can cast it, ask your questions, and if they fail their saving throw, they have to be straight with you and not lie. And of course, there's also enhanceability. So if someone needs a little bit more of a boost in a particular skill, especially since you have no physical attributes whatsoever, it could allow you to do things that you would not normally be able to. You can give yourself super strength for a period of time, faster reflexes, basically any ability score you can boost a little bit.
Eagle Splendor.
Yes. Make yourself a little bit more charismatic. So go ahead and have a look at some of those. If you have any particular questions, or if you want to know the usefulness of a spell, because there are some spells that might seem useless to you. And if you want to know more information about whatever, just let me know and I can help you through that.
Okay.
Can Flame Blade only be attached to blades?
Flame Blade, you create the blade.
Oh.
So you don't need to carry a blade on your person. You kind of just summon a lightsaber.
And it's a bonus action.
Yes.
How much is our hit points increasing to?
We did that last week at the
Oh,
end.
so the 21. Okay. I was just making sure that was the right number.
Okay.
And then as a wizard, how many 3 levels do I get? 3rd level spells now?
You have 2nd level spells now.
2nd level spells.
Right. And you get 2 new spells that you get to add to your spell book. Straight up. And
Wait, hold on. We're already 2nd level. We're not leveling up? I thought we were leveling up to...
Your spell level is different than your player level.
you're a 3rd level character. You have access to 2nd level spells.
Okay.
I get very confused about that too.
I know. It's easier to look at the what page is that on? Wizard. Okay, on page 113, there is just a nice little table that shows the wizard level and the spell slots and levels available to you. So if you can open up the Player's Handbook to 113, I can more easily describe how that works.
Okay. It's going to take me a minute to get to that page.
Do, do, do.
Ooh, what's a gust of wind? Oh, that's the same thing that our conch does, just with wind instead of water. Pushes things.
Okay.
Okay. So on the table, you can see that there's a spell slots per spell level. Giant graph there. The highest level that spells get up to in Dungeons and Dragons is 9th level. Don't know why. It's very subjective. But yeah, the spell level and character level are different things.
Okay. I believed you.
Yeah, but I figured just showing you the graph would make it a little bit easier to describe what actually happens. So At third level, you get access to second level spells for the first time. And there's several second level spells which are amazing. Wizards have some of the coolest spells in the game, in my opinion. They're my favorite class. And so you have plenty of options.
Hold on, I'm going back to the page with all the spells on it.
Yep.
That was very helpful, but had I known that that was all we were doing, I would not have scrolled all the way up to that one, because for some reason you can't use the tab on the side, so I have to manually like scroll through all these pages.
That's a pain.
Yeah.
Are you just in like Adobe or do you have it open in books?
I have it open in Adobe.
It is easier in like opening it up in Apple Books because you can like bookmark and jump back and forth and search.
I think at this point, if we can just get on with building and like doing it, and we can figure out a better system for moving forward.
What else? So John,
Yes.
are you getting greater or lesser restoration?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with that.
Okay. What's the difference between spike growth and hold person?
Hold person is you point at somebody that's humanoid and they become stunned. Like they become paralyzed. They are the gimpiest thing in the universe for a short period of time. Spike growth is you create an area that does a little bit of damage. And it also could be a nice little booby trap since it kind of looks like underbrush.
You said booby.
But yeah, hold person. Yeah, they become paralyzed. So they can't take actions. They can't talk. They can't do anything. They become really easy to hit. If they're in an area that requires a saving throw, like a dex check, they fail. Paralysis is pain.
Does spike growth affect? It says here like if the person can see it. So as long as I like say, hey guys, I'm casting this here, it won't affect them. They don't have to make the saves.
Yeah, it's a good question.
That's what it sounds like.
PQRS.
I'm taking my unicorn horn to the bathroom. I'll be back.
All right, spike growth. The ground in a 20-foot radius centered on one point within range twists and sprouts with hard spikes and thorns. The area becomes difficult terrain, and when a creature moves into the area, it takes 2d4 piercing damage every 5 feet it travels. Okay. The transformation on the ground is camouflaged to look natural. Any creature that can see the area, that can't see the area at the time of the spell is cast, makes a perception check to see it. So if you cast it in their presence, they know which parts are the pointy ones and to avoid it.
But if I cast it like on someone who is in that area to try to like keep them there.
They would see the effect, they would know that they were surrounded by a magical effect, and them moving out of it would still deal damage.
Okay. Here, I'm not sure.
All right.
The damage happens regardless of whether or not you're aware that it's there.
Okay, I tried to open this up in Apple Books because that scrolling's driving me nuts. So what page are the spells on again?
210.
Where's my box of dice?
And your frustration is why I only deal with books. And I'm sorry.
Alicia, what do you can't, you still have to scroll in this? What do you mean?
No, like if you hit the
I'm using the search tool to try and like search for a page number and it won't let me.
search for like are you trying to jump to the spell list?
Yes.
Just search. What was it that I searched? So if you search spell list, it'll actually take you right to the spell list.
I am getting a no sound. It's just going ding, 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 ding. Okay, we'll just scroll regularly.
Because it's the computer one instead of the iPad one?
There's also phone apps. One of my players uses, let me double check that. One
I'm gonna
called,
be really like I'm just gonna use this one. I'm not gonna try and use something else now, but I think maybe taking time to set up a player and beyond. I do think that because this is like a group for people just learning how to play, like that could be helpful. Like if you use me as your marker as not knowing how to do anything and like this frustration, I feel like there could be other people that are also experiencing said frustration.
right.
So like if we wanted to do one, I don't know if you would be available, but just like walking through the steps of setting up the character on like D&D Beyond. So like if you have to play virtually right now because you can't be in your like around your friends, this is a good way to do it or something.
I searched D&D spell lists on the App Store
Uh-huh.
and I got all social media. It's like Instagram and Spotify,
That's weird.
right?
But yeah, I know John likes D&D Beyond, but in terms of like filling out the character sheet, like it doesn't have Forest Gnome for you, which is frustrating unless you buy the player's handbook. The only thing that would be beneficial for you outside of just what's on your character sheet is the spell list and being able to look that information
Is this
up.
the one that they use or the Game Master 5th edition?
I'm not sure. Not the Game Master 5th edition one. They just give me that. So
5e.
yeah.
That's
He doesn't have
Android. What does it say? 5e.
5e spellbook.
What is Cloud of Daggers?
That is an amazing spell. So you basically point at a spot in an area, and it creates this 5-foot radius cloud of barbs, and any creature that starts its turn there or walks through it takes 44 slashing damage. No save, nothing. They just straight up take damage. It's a great spell that you just set up and just watch it cut people apart.
Is it concentration?
It is a concentration spell. So you set it up and let it run.
Can you like send it at someone, or is it just like you just like leave it somewhere?
You cast it and leave it. It does not move. So if there's a way to like restrain them, like if she did entangle, for example, and then you did Cloud of Daggers on the stuck person, they would just be in a blender and they couldn't get out.
Gotcha.
This
Okay.
is why preparing spells as a group is a good thing. But yeah, Cloud Daggers is actually the first spell I have on the list of good options available for you. There's a group of other ones that I thought would be good. The next big utility spell that is useful by just about everyone is invisibility. You or an ally becomes invisible until they attack, do something fancy, but being able to walk through a room without being seen is really useful.
That's cool.
Hold person is they're stuck there spell. Blindness and deafness is stupid powerful. Blindness.
This app is actually really cool.
Really?
It is, what do you call it? D&D spells 5e. And you put in your character, first of all, it has everything like unlocked already. So like I put in Dragonborn, I put in that I was a spore druid. It automatically adds your subclass specific spells. And then it gives you all the spells you have available to you. So like I didn't know that I also at level 2 automatically have blindness deafness, and gentle repose pre-prepared
Because of Spore Druid.
because I'm a spore druid.
There you go.
What is this? What was it called?
It is D&D spells 5e. I will send you a link in Slack.
Because anything to make life a little bit easier for you guys is what matters.
I get animate dead at my next spell level, guys.
That's 2 more levels.
I get 6.
Do.
How exciting. Nope.
Do.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-da-ba-da-da.
And then that's cool. Guys, anyway, I'm nerding out over something stupid.
I'm okay with that.
John, I
Yes.
really think you should dye your hair that cotton candy pink color.
Yeah, well,
I think it would really work for you.
Thanks.
We should do a fundraiser where we'll all dye our hair fun colors if we raise our money.
I like it.
But yeah, blindness, deafness is available to a lot of you, I think. If not all of you. Blindness, deafness is you point at someone and they can't see, meaning that everyone has advantage to hit them. They have disadvantage to hit anyone else. It is incredibly frustrating how much of a nerf that spell is. They do get a saving throw at the end of each of their turns, but it's crazy strong. And okay, so there's an initial save, and then they get to save again at the end of each of their turns. Blindness and deafness is stupid strong. The biggest spell I thought was right up Gully's alley, though, was Detect Thoughts.
That was the second one I was going to ask you when I said
Yeah.
like the Cloud of Daggers. The first two that caught my eye were Cloud of Daggers and Detect Thoughts.
Detect
I like
Thoughts.
that we're on the same page for my character. That's
I'm-
nice.
Glad. But yeah, Detect Thoughts is so up your alley, it hurts. So for the duration, you can read service thoughts. Basically, just know what they're thinking. And the duration is 1 minute. And it's just what they're currently thinking about. So if they're eating dinner, it's like, oh, I don't like this, I don't like that, whatever. But if you're talking to them or someone else is talking to them, and they ask a very pointed question like, where's the money hidden? The person's, of course, going to think about where it's immediately hidden, and you can direct those thoughts.
That's exciting.
However, if there's something specific you want to just drill into and figure out something specific, you can by just going into their deeper subconscious. They get a saving throw for that. And if they fail, you get to find out one important detail. Like their current emotional state, something that looms large in their mind, some other very important details, something intrinsic to them. However, if you do deep dive into their mind like that, regardless of whether or not you succeed in getting that information, they know that you were probing their mind.
Okay, that's fair.
But the ability to just read surface thoughts whenever you want with very little ramifications is candy.
Yeah, I'm gonna want that. While I'm looking at this, do I have a subclass? So I know my race
Yes.
is forest knight and my class is wizard. Do I have a subclass?
Yes, you're a mixologist.
But that's homebrew,
Not
right?
on
Yeah.
this list.
So, yeah, that's because it's a homebrew. So that sheet that he gave you, which I am assuming you will need another copy of.
The which? The
sheet that has like the things that you
The drinks on
the
it?
drinks on it.
I have that.
That's it's Caleb made that subclass up to fit your character.
Right. Yes, I know. The app you just sent, I was just asking if there was a subclass there. It's not listed in the app, but yes.
Yeah. Does she get anything from like
No,
already prepared ones like John and I do?
no. Wizards
Don't get that.
don't work that way. They get like all the spells, so
All the spells.
pretty much. Also, as a wizard, you have a spell book. I imagine yours looks like a drink book, just with all these different cocktails and whatnot, and different ideas about how to craft your magic.
I'm picturing like one made out of like leather and leaves.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes. What is I'm looking at right now, Crown of Madness.
Crown
Is
of
that helpful? I love the name.
It is really nice, actually.
Oh, this is cool. When you click on it, it tells you a whole little description.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I love
exciting.
this app.
Yeah.
This is what D&D Beyond should be like.
There you go.
This is what I was expecting when I went to D&D Beyond. I still think that could be cool. I just have to set up my character, which should have been done before this.
No, that's fine.
But
I
one
prefer
humanoid of your
character
choice. What?
Uh, I like character sheets anyway because it allows you to just personalize it.
Yeah.
The D&D Beyond and straight up digital formats feels kind of soulless, and you're not allowed to paint outside the box.
I like my good notes character list, then character sheet, then mixed with this new spell app. Guys, do you see this craziness?
Yeah, that's insane.
That's a lot of dice.
Not
Yeah.
even half of them.
Wow.
I get what you're saying, Caleb, but I also think for someone who's new to the game, who's not going to go like a lot of off book things, and just figuring out something like this could be really useful because it's a lot of stuff to remember. Like only doing it once a week for a couple hours, like what you're rolling, what you're doing, is not something that stays really in the forefront. So being able to like be like, what was that spell that it did again, and click on it is nice. But when we were in person and I could just flip over my card, that was nice too.
This to me is like the digital equivalent of the cards, because when you go to your class ones, you mark them there and then they show up in known. At least for me, I don't know if it's different for the wizard. And then you can go to prepare, like in known, you mark them again to put them in prepared for the day. So like I find that really useful because then I can bookmark the ones I like and be like, oh, well, we're going into the city, not the forest. So I don't want, I don't know.
Sure.
Now you guys have been accumulating gold throughout the adventures. Do you happen to know how much gold you have, Gully?
Yes, I have 10 jade
Okay.
and 10 silver pieces.
As a wizard, you're able to actually do research and figure out more spells. So if you want, if there's more than 2 spells you want, you can burn some of that gold to do research, especially in this in-between level thing, to get more spells if you want.
Sure.
So don't feel just limited to the 2 right now. But which ones are you thinking of right now? I'll let you read.
I definitely, I know I'm going to do the 2 that we just talked about. I was just reading what the Crown of Madness is. It says one humanoid of your choice that you can see within range must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or become charmed by you for the duration. While the target is charmed in this way, a twisted crown of jagged iron appears on its head and a madness glows in its eyes. The charmed target must use its action before moving on or each of its turns to make a melee attack against a creature other than itself that you mentally choose. The target can act normally on its turn if you choose no creature or if none are within reach. On your subsequent turns, you must use your action to maintain control over the target or the spell ends. Also, the target can make a wisdom saving throw at the end of each of its turn. On a success, the spell ends.
So basically,
A
what
charmed character can't attack the charmer or target the charmer with harmful abilities or magical effects. The charmer has advantage on any ability check to interact socially with the creature. So like just you get like a slave?
Yes, you temporarily grab someone's mind and you can have them attack their friends.
Okay. And it says that the crown appears above their head. Does everyone see the crown? So
Yes.
does everybody know that they're being controlled?
Yes.
That's less cool. It'd be better if it was like you could just like do it without them knowing.
That's a much later level nonsense right there. Yeah, this is second level utility spells where you get a little bit of versatility and a lot more nuance, except it's very obvious what you're doing in most cases.
Sure.
But yeah, Crown of Madness is an amazing spell that can be flavored for you to be like, I put him in a drunken haze and have him start hitting his friend.
Yeah.
Do.
What's the gift of gab?
At the end of the what?
Gift of gab?
What book is that from?
Jim Dark Magic is said to have invented this spell,
That's
originally
amazing.
calling it I Said What? Have you ever been talking to the local monarch and accidentally mentioned how their son looks like your favorite hog from when you were growing up on the family farm? We've all been there, but rather than being beheaded for an honest slip of the tongue, you can pretend it never happened by ensuring that no one knows it happened. When you cast the spell, you skillfully reshape the memories of the listener in your immediate area so that each creature of your choice within 5 feet of you forgets everything you said within the last 6 seconds. Those creatures then remember that you actually said the words you spoke at the verbal component of the spell.
I love that you're pulling Ink spells now. That's amazing.
It's a great spell.
Oh, speaking of Hack Inc., John,
Yes.
it's a special holiday game on Saturday night.
Oh, what time?
I haven't figured that out yet.
All right, I'm going to try not to get impossibly high, and I will watch that.
That's my goal as well. So
Yeah.
I have
I'll be
the
on
opposite
Slack
goal to just
during
get as
it.
high
If
as possible.
you want to talk about it,
Yep.
I'll figure out what time it is. That way I can stop bothering Caleb. You said I still only get 3D cantrips, right?
Yes. If you feel like one of them isn't as useful as you thought it was going to, oh no, all 3 of those you use all the time. One of them
Yeah.
is.
Because I was looking at Poison Spray and Thorn Whip, and I was trying to decide if, so like,
Yeah. Also, John and Gully, if you look at your cantrips, that there's one of them that you're not using or whatever, now would be a good time to transition.
Mine are good.
I could probably get rid of Friend. I've only used, the only one of those I really use often is Acid Splash. True Strike never seems to work for me since it takes 2 turns to do anything, and everything we fight moves too quickly.
Okay.
And then Friend I haven't used at all. So if you have recommendations, I will take your recommendation.
so I found next year's time for it. I'm assuming it will be the same time
That's weird.
because it says it's 8:30 to 11:30 p.m.
A
That's very
good
true.
cantrip for you would be probably Shocking Grasp for a couple reasons. Shocking Grasp is a touch melee spell. So you're grabbing things and shocking them to death thing is a lot more justifiable with that. They take 1d8 lightning damage and they can't take reactions until the start of your next turn. So
Okay.
that means you can shock them and you can actually run away without them attacking you back.
Okay.
Normally you have to disengage.
Disengage.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll do that instead of True Strike, and then if you have another one that you think would be helpful instead of Friend, I'll do that.
Okay. Well, also with Shocking Grasp, because it's a touch spell, your frog can do it too. So you can send
That's smart.
Kevin.
Kevin to go flying ahead, land on something, and have the frog zap whatever creature it is to death.
Oh, I like that.
What else do you have available as a wizard? Do you have a mage hand?
I have mage armor as one of my spells.
Well, mage hand or message are great little cantrips. Message allows you to basically whisper across a room without someone hearing you. And a mage hand basically gives you some light telekinetic powers, lifting up to 10-pound objects and whatnot.
I'll do that one, mage hand. I feel like that would be useful working in a bar to be able to like levitate glasses and stuff around.
It allows you to reach the top shelf even though you're 3 feet tall. Yeah.
This is smart. Yeah. All right, those are mine. And then, so we're just adding on 2 spells, correct? Or I can add on 3 if I want to pay for it.
Right. But pick
Okay.
2 spells that you like. You want an Acquisitions Incorporated mask.
Just look at it.
Oh, that is awesome. Yeah,
What is
that's
that?
another.
What is it?
Acquisitions Incorporated. You need to. I will send you all the links. And they're my heroes. I love Acquisitions.
It's the show I want our show to be like.
Jim Dark Magic is a wizard. He gets this spell that basically he has a little figurine of a tower and he can use the spell and make the tower grow. Coolest moment is Omendron's like, I'm going to need a distraction. Jim's like, sure. So, no, wait. That wasn't the time he did it. Multiple times he has saved the day by growing this tower in inappropriate places.
That's great.
But Acquisitions Incorporated is the only ongoing D&D live show I actually recommend to everyone because it is how I wish Dungeons and Dragons was all the time.
It's awesome.
Baby.
I put a link in the chat, Meg.
The baby Jim shirt.
Thank you, sir.
That's also an acceptable Christmas present.
It does start rough, but it gets so much better. It ends in glory.
All right,
No.
I'll check it out. I'm sorry, but when you click on this website, I love that there's the Inky the Seagull or sigil here, and it's like the Microsoft paperclip.
Yeah, it's amazing.
The entire website's like that cheesy.
Awesome.
I'm still trying to find when this stupid game is. If anyone out there is listening and knows when the Acquisitions Incorporated game is.
That is such a small demographic of humanity.
Especially since I don't think anyone's actually watching right now, but whatever.
Yeah, it's fine. So go ahead and have a look at the spells that we were just talking about. And while you're doing that, John, do you have any questions, concerns?
No, I'm good.
Do you know how to prepare spells?
I have Bless, Cure Wounds, Enhance Ability, Guiding Bolt, Greater Restoration, and Spiritual Weapon.
All right. And do you know which spells your domain gives you?
My beer one?
Yeah, your beer ones.
No.
All right. Alicia, can you hand me the skinny, not D&D book?
Beer.
Oh, I found one I think I like that I'm gonna have to buy if it's allowed.
What?
Nice.
I don't know if this is like a real spell. This sounds like a made up one. Maximilian's Earthing Grasp.
That is a real spell.
So that sounds like one that I would be into.
All right. What level spell is it?
It's a level 2. It's 1 action. It says you choose a 5-foot square unoccupied space on the ground, and you can see within range. A medium hand made from compacted soil rises there and reaches for one creature you can see within 5 feet of it. The target must make a strength saving throw. On a failed save, the target takes 2d6 bludgeoning damage and is restrained for the spell's duration. As an action, you can cause the hand to crush the restrained target. You must make a strength saving throw, or who must make a strength saving throw. And to break out, the restrained target can use its action to make a strength check against your spell save DC. On a success, the target escapes and is no longer strained by the hand. As an action, you can cause the hand to reach for a different creature or move to a different unoccupied space within range. The hand releases a restrained target if you don't do either.
Is that the one that Critical Role Caleb uses with the cat's paw?
Yep. So yeah,
You can make
get
it a
that spell if you
frog
want.
tongue.
Yes, you can make it this earthy frog tongue go flunk.
I like that idea. Yeah, I was trying to think because I pretty much, if I've got this like mage hand that I use, and I've got like, and I use burning hands all the time to like and try and do that. So like the idea of this like giant thing coming out of the ground and grabbing people seems on par. I'm starting to think Gully has like a little bit of a Napoleon complex for being so little, and she's using all these things that like can make her big or move.
I love that. That's fun. So is it going to be your fist grabbing onto other people, or is it going to be like a Kevin
I think
Frog?
I like the idea of Kevin's frog tongue. I think that's more fun.
All right. Well, you can definitely get Maximilian's Earth and Grass. That's not a problem.
Okay, so I want to do detect thought cloud of daggers, and then I'm going to pay to do the research to also get this one.
All right. That would be 3 jade.
Okay.
So as someone was visiting town, someone taught you how to deal with that. Or you figured it out on your own using various resources you've been spending money on. Doo-doo-doo. So beer cleric.
Beer cleric.
Your always prepared spells are for first level, comprehend languages, and
Yep.
heroism. Heroism is amazing. I'm surprised that one should probably be used a little bit more often. Let me double check and make sure it's the spell I'm thinking of. Heroism. A willing creature you touch is imbued with bravery. Until the spell ends, the creature is immune to being frightened and has temporary hit points equal to your wisdom modifier.
Yeah.
So it is concentration. So you basically make them immune to being scared.
That's good. That's a good one.
So heroism, comprehend languages, and your third level always prepared spells are blur and suggestion. And we covered those already.
Yep.
Tasha's mind whip sounds pretty cool too.
Whose mind whip?
Tasha's.
That's in this book. Yeah, that app
It says
great.
you psychically lash out at one creature, and you can see within range. The target must make an intelligence saving throw, and on a failed save, they take 3d6 psychic damage, and it can't take a reaction until the end of its next turn. Moreover, on its next turn, it must choose whether it gets a move, an action, or a bonus action. It gets only one of the three. On a successful save, the target takes half as much damage and suffers none of the spells. And once you get to third level, you can do two creatures at a time. So that means like I could just stand there and with my mind decide I want to like whip this person, and their brain gets whipped psychically.
Yep. You
Yeah.
lash his mind,
All right.
and they take that damage, and they don't get to move as much or do much of anything.
Okay, so I have a question. You said that the last one would be 3 jade. Does that mean I would have had to spend 6 jade to buy both, or could I like bargain down to like 4 or 5 jade in the sense that I would have researched them at the same time?
Well, it would be 3 more additional jade for Tasha's mind whip. You can have it, but it's not like a discount situation. You're the one doing the
I was
research.
just figuring, yeah, that's what I was asking, was like, if I do my own research, could I like have discounted like and done it at the same time? But okay, I will take that one and then I'm done.
Okay.
And I will give you 6 jade.
Cool beans.
Boss, I'm gonna need to work some extra hours. I decided to research some new spells.
A weird economy.
You should get once the mayor's dead and you're the mayor, you should be able to make some extra money as the mayor too.
Yeah, for sure.
And
I'll put
As
you
a
all on my
wizard.
staff.
your spell book is just going to be perpetually growing. So enjoy all the crazy amount of nonsense you get.
So she can pay to learn more?
Yeah, I just learned 2 more spells, so I got 4 new spells to play with. I'm very excited.
But she
So
can
you
only
can-
prepare so many?
Yeah, she has the same spell limitation. She can only prepare a number equal to her level plus intelligence modifier.
So,
It's just that John and I, we know all of them. We just have to prepare them.
Yes, you have access to all.
so we're going to become level 3, and my intelligence modifier is 3. So does that mean I can use 6 slots a day, or I prepare 6 and then can only use 2?
You can prepare a total of 6 of your spells from your spell book.
Gotcha.
And then you can use,
First level spell slots. Cast a first level spell 4 times, and you can cast a second level spell.
Oh, I should have these marked on what's what. So, so Burning Hands is a 1. Color
Correct.
Spray was a 1. Feather Fall, which I have only used once, is a 1. Find Familiar was a 1, right? And so
Yeah.
was Jump. And then is Hideous Laughter and Mage Armor, were they 1s or 2s?
They're all 1s.
Okay, so these are my first level 2 spells.
Yep.
and then in that app, if you tap on the levels at the top, you can actually mark off which ones you've used to keep track of them right in the app.
Okay, that's cool.
I'm glad that we found an app you like.
So I'm gonna have to play with that one. It's still asking if I'll like create my character in here, so I have to.
Oh, you just have to like put in weird
I'll
thing.
figure it out. I'm pretty savvy.
All right.
Okay, so you said I can use 4 level 1 spells a day, and how many level 2?
Shoot.
Okay, that's good. I'm gonna just type that 4.
Now you guys have an idea of what you guys are going to be doing to each other, or helping each other, and what you guys can do to other creatures. So-
This is very helpful actually in gameplay. I may pay for it just to support them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Spend my money. But
What's the name of the app, Alicia?
it is D&D Spells 5e. And look, I think I can do this. Wait, let me see if I can.
I don't know what you're doing. So that you can demo it for everybody.
Yeah, it's got 5 on Google. It's got 5 stars with 3,300 reviews. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to play with it and like add in my spells, and then that'll be a good way to tell like how many I've used and what I'm doing. all
And I
that
can
stuff.
install it on my phone from my computer. Boom.
Very-
Technology is wonderful.
No show.
So, and that's the biggest thing that you're going to need to actually reference from game to game is the list of your
Sheet.
abilities. So,
And sheet 1 of the character sheet.
and sheet, one of the character sheet.
So speaking of our character sheet, I don't get any we don't get any more proficiency.
Nope. You guys are
Don't get to learn
spellcasters. You
any-
don't get fancy schmancy abilities or stuff. Especially at the levels where you guys get.
I would just like it said that everywhere it
Spell
asks for
slots.
mistletoe or leaves, it's actually going to be Hey-Hey's feathers.
Okay. That's important.
And that there's probably mushrooms growing on my staff.
That's cool. Is there any flavoring stuff that you guys want to talk about before we transition? Like the fact that our druid over here isn't doing like the whole mistletoe, like a nice English druid vibe. It's more of a I live in a hen house and there's mold growing on my face vibe. Am I
It's
wrong?
fungus.
Okay.
Fungus growing up my face. I shave occasionally.
So a lot of your spells, you're going to be pulling feathers out of Hey to cast spells, and
That's why he always
Or
looks like
hey.
He's my friend. He's my special animal friend. I didn't realize druids get special animal friends. He's not a familiar though, because there's a difference.
all right. Well,
Can Meg cast Find Familiar?
yeah, that's where Kevin came from.
But
It's
like,
one of my spells.
so if Kevin dies,
Hey.
does she cast Find Familiar to bring him back?
Yeah,
Can she poof him out of danger?
yeah.
That's nice.
Kevin's basically the weirdest immortal frog ever, but
See, I feel like those are the little things that Meg might not know.
oh, yeah, that's true.
That's kind of what I meant when I said earlier that sometimes I feel like it might be easier if you just like at some point wanted to do a video where you broke down a lot of the tiny little like things.
Well, I don't.
Like I think you've been doing it for so long and there's so much to know that there might be like little things that are not taken for granted, but just assumed knowledge that like if everyone is as dumb as me, they're not going to have it assumed. Like I need to be told everything about this world.
No, that's fair. That's part of the big reasons where it's like you need access to your spells.
Yeah.
Because all of the wizards' flavoring comes from the spells that you're able to cast. So knowing what they actually do is important. Find Familiar allows you to summon your creature, which technically is either celestial, fey, or fiend. I believe you said fey, but I could be mistaken. Do you want your
Wait,
form
what?
to be angelic or demonic or fairy-like?
I think I said Faye. I said Kevin would be sweet.
Da, da, da. He is independent of you, but always obeys your commands. In combat, while your familiar is within 100 feet of you, you can communicate with it telepathically. You can use an action to go into its senses. You've used that ability a lot.
Yeah. It's important. You know, Kevin and I are best friends and he's totally okay with the arrangement. I have full consent to enter him at any time.
Yes. He's well fed and well taken care of. Alicia, no. As an action, you can dismiss him temporarily. So if he's in a spot of danger, you can just be like, poof, and he's gone. And then you can poof him back into existence as an action.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing. There was a lot of times where we sent him into like some shaky areas and I was terrified. Now, here's another question. If I am occupying him and decide to fly into somewhere bad to check things out and become in danger, can I poof myself out?
Yes.
That's
No
cool.
problem.
While you're in him, you can talk to us while you're using his senses, but you
I can
can't
talk to
hear
you
us.
because you understand animals.
Well, no, like if you're using his senses and you're flying ahead, you can tell Quinto and I what you're seeing. You just can't hear our reply.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because all of the senses are in the frog.
I learned a lot of this watching
Critical Role.
and Acquisitions Incorporated.
There you go.
I'm gonna
I'll
get an
have to start watching it.
next time we go on a
yeah.
business trip, John. Let's go to a tattoo parlor.
All right, you get a night cake?
Yeah.
All right. That's awesome.
I support this. Also, all your touch spells, like Shocking Grasp, you can cast through your familiar as long as it's within 100 feet. So that's not just offensive spells. If you want to if you have any if you had blur or any spells, eventually get haste and all these crazy bonus spells they can give to your allies. You can have Kevin fly to your ally and boop and provide that bonus to them at a distance.
That's cool. I have a question. So
Yes.
this app that we just downloaded that Alicia found, I like it and I want to build my character in it, but it's saying that I have to choose a subclass for wizard, which would be there's only 2 options. Now, can I choose one of those and then like still operate the way that we've been doing and know that it just won't, like, it's saying that there's I don't even know how to pronounce these, but one is like CHRONURGY and the other one looks like it has to do with gravity.
For some reason, those are the 2 school. Yeah, go ahead and grab one of those because those are.
Does it matter which one? Like, well, I just didn't want it to affect things
Are they in
moving
passion?
forward.
No, those are in the what's the name of that book? Explorer's Guide to Wildemount. Wildmount.
I love how you just know this. Like, you call my dad Skipopedia.
I have useless knowledge though.
You can turn off the always prepared feature in there. It's set in settings.
How do you know so much about it already?
Oh, this is my special talent. Ask John.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I'm really good with random programs.
All right. Quanergy and graviturgy. Yeah, let me see if either of them are problematic in any way. That's not going to affect your spells. That's not going to affect your spells. Which one did you pick? Just
I haven't picked either yet. I was waiting for you to tell me.
Go ahead and grab just Chronergy now.
Got it.
Just because that's not going to affect any of your higher level spell slot nonsense. Cool.
It's telling me to choose a guide. Do you know what that means?
I do not know what that means.
Right.
A guide?
Of Ravnica? Choose a guide
Oh,
from Ravnica?
you could a guild.
A guild. Oh, I'm sorry. Blame the dyslexia. There's no E.
I just
Shouldn't have
skipped
said
that.
How do you
Okay.
skip?
I just didn't choose one.
Thank you.
Gotcha.
Yeah, don't pick one of those.
I did include the.
And should you pick a dragon mark?
Nope.
Do not pick a dragon mark. Wow.
And you can change the color.
So how I'm seeing 41 spells now, Alicia, or I see 30 level 0 and 41 level 1s and stuff like that. So that's all the spells. So I have to go in and like bookmark the ones that I have, right?
Right.
So I have Acid Splash.
I don't have any C ports left to plug into. I was gonna say if I plug my iPad in, I can show you, but maybe later.
It's okay. I think I can figure it out.
All right. So we covered a lot of ground with that.
I think that we solved a lot of frustration with that.
Yeah, that was nice. I like this.
If you, all those little, I can't emphasize enough looking through the spells they have available though, because that is where a lot of the
But this
nuance comes from.
This is a lot less like clicking back and forth. Like I can sit here.
Yeah, like this.
You know.
Like, I don't know if you can see it, Caleb, but I can just like click on one and it has all the information right there. So rather than like going back and forth of like, how many spells am I allowed to have? What does this spell do? It's just all in one place. So I went.
Whoa, this is a cool spell.
Absorb Element is a cool spell. Just having also, Meg, if there's as you're just perusing, if there's one that you're like, why don't I have this? This is clearly one I should have. You can just switch it out at this point because
Okay.
I'll just chalk it up to me not conveying information that you would want. Or you can just spend 3 more jade. Either way, I'm fine. Doesn't matter.
Okay. I will tell you.
Um,
Alicia, I need you to like, oh man.
and I know Wizards get a ton of options, so sorry.
There's so many. I'm sorry. Am I holding you guys up? I thought we were.
No,
I
not
was just
really.
looking
No,
at.
This
no,
is
no.
Okay.
all we're doing today. And we've
This
got 40
and-
minutes left, so
Okay.
I mean, the only other thing I even wanted to talk about outside of just making sure that you guys knew what spells you guys might want to use, what they do, is maybe have like a plan of what you guys might want to cast together. Like, for example, you having hold person so that she can do the Cloud of Daggers thing and just blend tech things as an option. But past that, next, that'll be the end of this level up. Then we'll talk about what you guys want to do over the next month in character. Like, what do you guys do? And then after that, talk about what we're doing for next week, since next week is going to be a one-shot, simple little stupid game.
where we're goblins.
Love it.
And then we'll
What part do we work in again? Did you say?
you guys will be working in the candy department or the sweet tooth department.
Oh yeah, I remember because I was like, oh, I want to work in wrapping, and you were like, no, those guys are
Wrapping?
stuck.
So I have a question about augury here.
Sure.
So it's a second level spell, but it is a ritual.
Yes.
So it doesn't take a spell slot?
You have to prepare it, and you can cast it as over 1 minute, or you can spend 10 minutes, take your time, and it doesn't consume the spell slot if you use it as a ritual. And you and all of you have ritual casting. So all of you can, if it has a ritual tag, you can spend 10 minutes to cast it without burning a slot.
But this one is never to be used in battle because
Yeah, that
it takes too long.
it takes too long. You should always
I
use
have.
ritual.
I also have a question.
Yes.
I think this might just have something to do with the app, but hideous laughter is not. I can't find it on here, and that's not one that I really use. So can we just swap that out for a different one? Because I'd rather just have all the ones I'm using be available in the app so I don't get confused.
The one it might be called Tasha's Hideous Laughter in the app.
Nope. Oh wait, hold on. That would be level 1. I'm on the wrong part. Oh, you're right. There it is. Good
Okay.
job. Smart, Caleb.
All right. Do.
Dude, this one's cool.
Oh, I forgot you were. Yes, Healing Spirit is uniquely broken. And it's a druid only spell that I totally forgot about.
Well, this spirit is going to always look like Hey Hey.
It is the spirit of Hey Hey.
It is the spirit of Hey Hey. Guys, so this one, I create a 5-foot cube, and whenever a creature, until the spell ends, whenever me or a creature I see moves into the space for the first time or starts its turn there, I can cause the spirit to restore 1d6 hit points to that creature.
That's awesome.
So
That's
And it
super
can
cool.
heal up to 4 times.
Wow. That's big.
an individual person, or
It's it just 4 times, so I could cast it on like one person and then have, if anyone else needs healing, have them run into the square.
in up to
four-
46 then. That's lovely. That way you can heal everybody a little bit, or
That's pretty cool.
heal one person a lot.
I can't find Tasha's mind whip in here.
Was it Tasha's Mind Whip?
Tasha's Mind Whip was just released, so it might not actually be in the app yet.
Well, no, did you?
Well, I mean, I found it in the app. Is it just not available for whatever I picked? Because I only know it exists because I read about it in the app.
when you set up your character, did you check off the include optional from TCE?
I don't know. Why would I know that?
Up in the upper right-hand corner, there's the 3 dots. Quick
I
load.
hit that and I clicked edit.
Okay.
And what include optional from TCE. I will hit yes and edit that. Okay, and then sort by level. Oh wait, no. Okay. So then whoa, what is Tasha's caustic brew? That sounds appropriate for someone who works there. A stream of acid emits from you in a line 30 feet long and 5 feet wide in the direction you choose. Each creature in the line must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or be covered in acid for the spell's duration or until a creature uses its action to scrape or wash the acid off itself or another creature. It takes 2d4 acid damage at the start of each turn.
Yep.
That's very cool.
So if you want to switch out a first level spell for that, go ahead.
I would. I'm going to switch out jump. I haven't
Cool.
really used that. Man, that's 3 of Tasha's spells I have. Whoever this Tasha person is. I'm clearly very... I'm just kidding. I assume it's not a person.
He has a
but
whole
still.
book.
Yep, that's her.
Wow.
Well, she seems super cool. And if I'm going to buy a book, I feel like it would be hers.
She is a flavorful lady.
Does it give you a history of Tasha in there?
Somewhere in here, yeah.
Can we make some like weird backstory where on some weird level I'm related to her? That would be cool. Because I now have
human.
Tasha's caustic brew, Tasha's hideous laughter, and Tasha's mind whip.
Maybe she was like taken in by gnomes for a while and specifically.
Well, she has polymorph, so I don't see why she couldn't have a little fun.
Knows your dad and she was your godmother.
There we go. Taught me things. So I didn't inherit. I didn't just inherit them. I had to learn them.
Lots of cool options.
I love that, like, I can go away.
You can do what?
I love that I can have them up here and like do all of this. This is awesome. I don't know why this isn't closing.
Huh.
All right, so we're gonna go on to the what we're doing for the month.
Yeah. So the election's coming up in 2 months-ish. So over the course of that 1 month period, from the end of the comet to about halfway to election day, what are you guys doing for about a month? And also, what are you planning to do as mayor? Like, what is your goal? But so, yeah, what do you guys do? Work on research.
Quinto, how's your murder room going?
Oh, it's going great. I think we should start trying out our serial killing by finding a few bad people and making sure that we can get away with it.
Do I know about it at this point, or am I still in the dark?
No, you're in the dark because you're running for mayor.
We got to keep you pure and innocent.
Yeah.
I'm only helping to keep Cully out of it.
Yeah, you're like Dexter's dad.
Yes, exactly. I'm only gonna be okay with it if we kill bad guys.
Yeah. Making sure that energy is harnessed in the right direction.
Who do you consider a bad guy, though?
People who
have caused
Yeah.
issues.
People who are not good in the community, people like maybe some criminals.
You guys live in a village of less than 100 people.
Well, but there's the
a lot
other
of
village that's not
transient
that
people
far.
that come in and out
Yeah.
because of the docks.
Maybe we kill that hitman before he leaves.
There you go.
You kill the hitman that you asked to come over.
Okay, that might be a little bit of a jerk move.
Still, whatever. He's a hitman.
Then he knows our plan. So
Have you seen that movie? It's on Netflix now. It's got Anna Kendrick, who's like my favorite actress. So I've seen everything she's been in.
Mr.
And-
Right?
Yes,
We own it.
I love that movie. With her cat ears. I love it.
They're an adorable couple.
They're great. John, have you seen it?
no, I'll check it out though.
You need to watch it. I feel like this should be the inspiration. What happens to him? He like kills people, but only bad guys.
Awesome.
I also, guys, I have a really cool spell now called Gentle Repose, where I can touch a corpse and preserve it.
That's pretty cool.
So you can go full CSI and
I like it. Can we drain all the blood and fill it with beer instead?
Well, like basically, if one of
Why?
you dies, I can get you back to town to hire a healer to bring you back to life
That's pretty cool.
without you rotting away from under us.
All right.
We can go like full Snow White or Sleeping Beauty. I forget which one it is. If one of us dies, just put them under glass for a while. Put them in the center of the bar.
So is the grave cleric and the spore druid very close?
kind of. They're similar. They both deal with the state of being dead. The grave cleric makes sure that you stay dead and is very anti-undead. The spore druid is very, you're dead, but death
Is only the beginning.
is a part of the process. It's a circle. Grave is you're done. Be done. You're a corpse.
Anyway,
The druid is your fertilizer.
so can we find like? I think we should go to the docks, Quidto, to fight a bad guy.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. That's
Like
fine.
maybe are there people who have come back looking for the orcs? Can I roll to see if I know of anybody coming back to look for the orcs?
Give me a charisma investigation check.
Charisma investigation check? Is that just because you know my charisma's crap?
No, it's because you're investigating, you're looking into it with your words. So that's a 1.
It's not even cocked.
That's a 1.
All right, so I know nothing.
Nope, nothing.
So you go to the dogs, you literally like walk up sideways to the dog is like, hey you. Have you seen anybody sketchy of late? The dock worker's just like walks away from you.
I would like to put on a disguise and try again. We have a month.
You got time.
John,
Yes.
how are you looking for sketchy people to kill off?
You
work at a tavern. It's not.
Yeah, I'm gonna just make pleasant conversation with some of the people and see if they know any unsavory characters that have been hanging around.
All right. Give me a charisma insight check. Or investigation, whichever one you have.
15.
Okay. So working in the local tavern, you also get people coming in and out. And they're also a little bit more relaxed than people coming off the boat who immediately upon disembarking or unloading have no interest in talking to the sketchy ass dragonborn who's just asking all kinds of invasive questions as they're just trying to relax. You manage to calm them down, serve them a few drinks, and you're asking them about their travels and how are things. And occasionally, some of the people who have traveled voice concerns of a few of the dock hands, as well as a few of the people that they're doing some business with, how some of them got shorthanded. And some people are fleeing domestic issues. So you have a wide array of people who are traveling in various levels of frustration.
Okay.
Is it the domestic? Is it the trade? Or the domestic trade? Or there's also a few people who have traveled here to escape a little bit of some religious woes. A group of goblins have moved to this island from Little Drake because they've been dealing with this volley figure. And he's trying to avoid, and they're trying to avoid his priest, all that nonsense. They don't quite like anyone associated with this particular clergy. And whenever they heard that you were a priest, they were wary of you at first until you serve them up a beer. And then they were like, oh, you're fine. You're not going to give me grief. Huzzah. And you're not asking for a blood sacrifice. All the better.
Why does Volley sound familiar?
He's the god of Little Drake. He's the big wolf.
Oh, I made a webpage about him.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's one group of possible people that might interest you. The domestic, also someone from Little Drake. It is this husband and daughter who moved here trying to escape this abusive wife who there was a cut on his face that was still healing from apparently where she broke a glass bottle and tried to stab him with it. And so she's not exactly the best person in the universe. And so that was the domestic and the trade. This one is from Gravitas, the nearby city. It sounds like one of the gnomish families cheated him out on some trade work. Like he did some construction labor. And whenever he went to get paid, he was just shafted. And so he came to Little Drake to work on some of the repairs since the Orcish family were falling a little bit behind on the labor that was available. So those are the three big things that you were told about.
Okay. I'm going to digest that and think about it for a little bit.
Okay. So you're attempting to do a little bit of research. Do you do anything else besides help with the murder wall since everybody's giving you the cold shoulder?
I work on very specifically perfecting my wild shape to look like Hey completely.
Oh, all right.
In fact, one day, two Hey wander into the tavern.
Two Hey enter a bar.
And we're just going to go up and see if anyone can guess which one is which.
All right.
What do I
Starting
get if
with-
I guess right?
What?
So what do I get if I guess right?
I mean,
Give me a wisdom animal handling check or medicine if you have either.
I also would like to spend the time working on my relationship with Pippin to try to figure out why he didn't like the hitman.
Ah, okay.
Well, that's cocked. I can't roll in that.
Why, he didn't like the hitman? He's the one who's, you asked for a hitman. And he
No,
didn't.
hey.
Oh, hey. Oh, yeah, you guys can talk to animals.
I can cast talk to animals.
Yeah, you can actually you can cast it and Gully can just straight up talk to animals.
But I can't tell her that he didn't like the hitman because then she'd be like, what hitman?
Hi, John. What is this?
What?
We're gonna get-
Hold on.
John, we're gonna get dinged.
Oh, we're live, aren't we?
We're live.
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
So
So you
let's
said
see how good your hey interpretation is.
Demonetized from the platform.
Oh no.
so you said animal handling, wisdom animal handling?
Yep.
So that is a 16.
Okay. It's a really darn good duplicate.
We walk
If you're trying to tell them apart, it would be a intelligence investigation.
we walk up to Gully.
The one on the left.
Okay, which one did? Roll me an intelligence investigation, unless you're just randomly guessing.
I don't think I have dice ready. Oh yeah, I have to do it online. I'm just gonna randomly guess. I pick left.
Okay. It was right. You were correct.
I leave you a feather.
Thank you.
We go up to the murder room and both peck on the door.
Hello, enter my room.
The two hey center.
We strike a pose.
Nice. All right.
A coordinated pose. We do like a
Sand fusion.
yes.
I have my kill options on the wall. Maybe we can review.
But are you gonna guess which one's which?
Investigation wisdom, if you want to actually tell them apart.
I will roll.
I like how no one batted an eye that there's two A's.
I rolled an 11.
Okay, you can't tell them apart.
Fuck. Oh, darn. Sorry, I'm really killing the monetization today.
So do you just randomly guess?
Yeah, I guessed the left.
Okay. Oh, you guessed incorrectly.
I unwild shape and say, well, you don't get a feather. What do you got going on?
Setting up some options for us to review here.
I kick the door shut.
Yep.
All right, so who we going after?
Well, we have our choice here of these three unsavory characters. So we have to pick one of the three. Whichever one looks the unsavoriest to you.
It was the goblins with volley.
Yep.
I just need a refresher on the other two.
There was the abusive spouse.
Down.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going after that. All right. Domestic it is.
Okay. She is a human. And from talking to the poor husband, her name is.
Wait,
was
the
about to
woman was the abuser?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's 2020, Alicia.
I know. I just wanted to make sure because I was like confused about who we were hunting. So the husband came in. He's escaping her. Is she likely to follow him? Like, do we just have to lie in wait?
He's not sure. He was just trying to start a new life.
Where's he from?
He's from Little Drake. It's like a 3-hour boat ride to Little Drake.
Do we have a boat?
You can rent one, no problem.
Awesome.
There's constantly taxis going to and from that place.
So what's her name?
Her name is Charlie.
All right. What you look like?
Her full name is Charlie Rowe. And she is a early 40s brunette.
Where does she work?
She does some occasional work at the Beholder Hole.
Well, that sounds dirty.
It is a pretty sleazy tavern in the blue collar part of Little Drake.
You want to take a trip, Quinto?
I'm in. Let's do it.
right. So I'll have to plan that particular scene at some point.
Awesome.
So then the other thing that I want to do is talk to Hey Hey.
On a side note, I want to buy one of these ski suits to go snowboarding in. And if anyone would like to weigh in on what color I should get,
Sure.
please feel free. They're absolutely amazing.
All right. So do you just talk to Hay on your own, or do you bring the other person that can talk to the chicken?
No, because I have to explain the hitman.
Yeah, she'd have to tell me that they're murdering, and I'm not
Right.
allowed to know that they're murdering right now.
Right, I forgot about that.
So it's just Hey Hey and I sitting outside Hey Hey's chicken coop.
Yep.
I'm holding him like a baby.
Okay.
It soothes him.
Cluck.
Hey, hey, hey.
Yes. Yes, Pippin. What is it?
Remember that guy that came, the halfling? You seem to know him.
Yes.
How do you know him?
He raised me from a small, tiny egg. He made me fight for my life. I killed many chickens.
With the right to
Before-
party.
I'm glad I rescued you, Hey Hey. I'm sorry you had such a rough life.
I have had a rough life. One day, vengeance will be mine. Death to the halflings.
Not all halflings, Hey Hey. Some halflings are good.
All halflings are horrible.
I understand why you feel that way. But we'll kill that particular halfling. Quintel! I go up to the murder room again. Quintel.
Gosh, dang.
Hanging out murders.
We have to wait a bit on this one.
Yep.
But that halfling hurt my Hey Hey in the past.
You take him out.
Yes. We will
Am
avenge.
I starting to get at all suspicious that they keep like disappearing for like periods of time? Which like clearly they're just like going to the murder room, but I don't know the murder room exists. So I'm just like, where? Like,
Give
what's
me
happening?
actually, yes, give me an insight check versus a deception check.
Which one of us is deceiving?
Both of you. You're
Yeah.
lying to
Can't-
me. It's for my own good, but you are
Quinto?
lying to me.
Can't Quinto roll with me helping him and get advantage?
I'm rolling a d20, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you're rolling a d20.
And then what am I adding to it? Anything?
Insight. It would be, I believe,
So I am
insight is wisdom.
Yeah.
right, and I'm proficient. So I would add 3, which is still not going to help because I only rolled an 8. I got an 11.
Right. Both of you roll a d20. Let's see if either of you roll garbage.
Or am I just more? Am I so like caught up in the
I rolled a
what's
14.
it called? The so caught up in the campaign.
You're so caught up in making your spells
I only rolled a 9.
that
I am researching 2 new spells during this also.
yes. So you're just assuming that they're doing their own kinds of research on different things, and you're just too fascinated that you can now lash people with your mind.
Yeah. Did you hear that part, Alicia? I got some cool spells happening.
I'm really excited to play with my new spells, and I'm kind of sad it's going to be like 3 weeks.
I'm really excited when you guys bring me in on the murder and I can be like, well, guys, I can just like make their brains explode if I try hard enough. And then there'd be nobody would understand how they died because it's just like psychic damage. So I would just like make them like super depressed and then they die.
That's terrible.
Yep.
After using the spell, it does cause like a that high sonar kind of like eye bleeding kind of thing going on.
Nice.
So on the one time you experimented on something living, it's like, poof, did I make it work? And oh yeah, that works. That works great. The eyes roll to the back of the head.
No, I would not do that on an animal. a terrible person who's made bad decisions, fine, but there is no way that I am experimenting on animals. I don't even wear makeup that experiments on animals.
Okay.
Goodness gracious.
No animal testing in this stronghold. Nice to know.
Absolutely not.
Good to know.
You guys are like borderline vegan serial killers.
I love it.
Why not? So that's what you're doing, is talking to Hey, figuring this out, finding the locations of these people while that's going on. You're doing your various research, crafting your spell. Is there anything else you guys want to do before we transition out of that over the course of the month? Oh yeah, what are you doing for your campaign? Like, why are you becoming mayor? Everyone's curious.
So I just have a question. Like, how do other people feel about the mayor? Do they also think that she's like totally terrible like we do, or do they love the mayor? Because we've hated her like on site, which makes me feel like there's like some negative, like there's some hostility that's been there for a long time building up, and we're lovable in this town. Like we're the heroes who constantly save it.
Give me an
Wouldn't
investigation.
other people? Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
As you're just getting a read on the town. So that's a D20.
but I feel like I would have known this prior to me.
Yeah.
Okay. 12.
12?
And then did you want insight the same? Like, would it be the same, like insight and the wisdom?
Inside
That'd be
wisdom,
15.
yeah.
So
Okay.
15.
The mayor is a government official. Most government officials are looked at with a fair amount of distaste. But in terms of governance, people generally don't complain about her. She doesn't take a ton in taxes. She hires local.
On a scale of the memory of JFK to Trump.
Is
she like a George Bush?
She's more of a, in terms of policy, she's closer to a libertarian. She doesn't really do much with the taxes except for making sure that the 6 guards in town are paid, that the various events are well protected and are well scheduled, and that people follow city ordinances and don't do anything that risks the lives of the rest of the village. So in terms of people's view of her, she leaves us well enough alone. They're okay with it.
So I feel like she would actually be more conservative and I would be running more liberal, where I do want to raise taxes a little bit, but maybe to do more for the town, considering we just had condemned buildings with dead bodies inside hanging around and like nobody cared because apparently there was nobody to clean it up and like all this other stuff. And how 3 people who run a tavern are suddenly doing all of these like big jobs because there's no security, like the security is not doing enough, people aren't doing enough. So we need more jobs and things like that. Community outreach programs, bettering the community. That's my platform.
All right.
And occasionally you do need to raise taxes to do that, but I can, try and make everyone understand that your personal taxes might go up a little bit, but it's going to go directly back into the community and for your own safety, especially because like now there's murders happening all around.
Yeah.
So you're planning to put security as a big forefront.
I wouldn't put security. I don't want like a big brother's watching you. We're going to put security vibe. It's just like a more community involvement. I'm not going to hire a bunch of police. I'm just going to like try and like clean things up about a bit, make it a little bit nicer.
Okay. By just making the city itself prettier, or like what specific
And
thing would you
safer.
put the taxes towards? Like you would go to hire or
Well, for
improve-
example, like a good example that I think I would use is that there was this condemned house, like a condemned building with a dead body inside. And when we asked the mayor why it wasn't taken care of, she said, there's not enough people to do it. And she said they didn't have the money to do it. So like allocating funds so that, you don't have rotting corpses lying around everywhere.
Well, nobody knew about it, not even the other villagers.
What about-
That is not what was said. If we go back to the story, she said that they didn't do anything about it because there weren't people to do things about it. And again, someone murdered someone and fled town, and there was no investigation. There was no nothing. We are living in the Wild West, people. Come on.
What about paying for a healer to come live in the town? And like, I assume people are like getting hurt in the town, especially with random things happening. Like,
Do
who's
we
taking
have
care of all
hospitals?
the hurt people from the stuff that happened with the dinosaur?
There is a goblin medicine person that does first aid work, but there isn't another magic caster in town. You three are
I'm
the
going to do a Bernie Sanders town hall here.
Yeah.
I think we
I'm going to
should.
be the Bernie Sanders of the Drakes.
It's great.
all right. So that is the direction you're planning to go. All right.
So, are you gonna like ask your patrons to vote the mayor versus Gully and leave it up to them whether or not she wins the
If
election?
any of your patrons do not vote for me, we are going to fight. Looking at you, Archie. Looking at you.
Good idea.
But that sounds fair,
I
yeah.
might give
Oh, but I
them,
would like to point
an
out
option
that
to
maybe
fight.
they want me to lose, because if I do lose, I might just become more enraged and be like, all right, now we're just going to murder more people because they don't even care about the greater good or any of this, and go like straight like Voldemort. Just kidding. Mostly kidding.
Oh man. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm really interested to know how you're going to decide this election. Oh, great DM.
I think you should listen, let the patrons vote, because I don't know if I'm more excited to be mayor and see if that works for our cult, or to not be mayor and just be like, well, I tried to make this place better and they're not listening, so now let's just kill all the bad guys.
It's awesome.
I don't know which one I would like better.
Well, you have like the third wealthiest industry in the village. So you guys could go full Batman, like get disguises.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Maybe I lose the election because everyone's like, but her pies are so good, and if she's mayor, she won't be working in the tavern anymore. What's going to happen to the drinks? And they decide they don't want me to be their political official. They just want me to be baking pies and serving drinks.
That's
You
a
know?
good counter argument that the mayor might.
I'm just saying the mayor might say like, we all love, like, because she seems like manipulative and gaslighting. So I feel like she could be like, we all love Gully. Do we really want to take her from this role that she's been in and plunge her into something else? Like, who's
I
going
like
to be
how
her
Meg
dad?
is running both sides of this
campaign.
campaign.
Well,
Did I ever tell you guys that I really liked debate club when I was younger?
There you go.
You know that thing I said earlier?
Solve both problems. Be like, you're right. I will focus on governance. We do need someone to take over the investigation and a little bit more of the police work. How about we just hire you and keep you on retainer?
What were you saying, Alicia, about what you said earlier?
Remember how earlier I said, how can you tell me you're Meg without telling me you're Meg? Say that my favorite thing is to wrap presents.
I didn't say my favorite thing is wrap presents. I said I really like wrapping presents.
Let's
Do you
add,
wanna-
I really
John, do you
like
wanna see my
debate
wrapping
club
colors?
to
John,
that
do you want to
list.
see my wrapping color scheme today? When we were planning, we were comparing what wrapping papers we're using.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like Alicia and we should show you like mine versus
I
Alicia.
feel like Caleb would really appreciate your wrapping.
I'll get mine.
Mine are horrendous. So
Well, that is your best
Isn't this my
present like, ever.
best wrapping ever?
oh, that's lovely.
Look at all those clean lines.
Mine are terrible.
It'll never
And
happen
the
again.
best thing is when you look at the roll of wrapping
Wow,
paper.
look at Meg. Jesus Christ, that's ridiculous.
So yeah, so this year I went for plain paper with like, I'm using red twine, and I realized both of my examples I have the twine the same way, but each one's different. And then on these ones I have the jingle bells and stuff.
It's very cute. Nice work.
Mine is even
Yeah,
more impressive when you look at the roll of.
Paper from
I love it so much. But I was like, I love wrapping presents. And Alicia's like, oh my gosh, that's the most on brand thing you've ever said.
And the second most on brand thing you've ever said was I really liked debate club when I was younger.
There you go.
This is true. I am who I am, guys. I am who I am. So what color of ski suit should I get? Did anyone look at these?
I put mine in the chat.
Oh, I didn't even see that you did that.
All right, one
Great
second,
choice.
I'll look. And then
Then we've hit the 2-hour mark.
I would just like to point that they also come in men's if you guys want to come on any ski trips.
Those are
I've
amazing.
seen first.
They're
I
amazing, right?
love the
They're
one.
so 1980s.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
obsessed with it, and they have amazing reviews. Although I'm confused about the sizing because it's based on their chart. I'm going to be a small, and I'm never a small in anything.
The one I would have voted for is sold out.
Which one?
The like Anna Elsa looking one, the blue bomber ski suit. John, which one did you say?
mine's in the chat, the one that I picked.
His is the first and the second row, I guess.
Yeah.
The one that looks like Rainbow Bright?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of, the rainbow bright one. Alicia, are you talking about the bright light blue one with the pink and the green?
No, it's like the second to last one. It says sold out with the crying face.
Yeah, that does look like an Elsa Anna one. I
like
like that
the
John
jumpsuit.
picked that one because I was
Oh, cool.
in between the one right above that. That's like dark. The very first one, their bestseller, and then the one John picked. I texted Jared saying, "Do you care if I get one of these? Also, there's guy ones. Do you want one too?" And he said yes. So we're gonna have matching one, guys. I don't know if we'll
amazing.
end up with matching, but we're both
Caleb
gonna
and I
have
got matching Christmas sweaters from there.
We got matching onesie pajamas, Colleen and I. So
Jared and I got matching onesies too. I plan on wearing them for our holiday Christmas thing that we're doing.
nice, we will
Did you
too.
see our holiday matching photo?
Wait,
Yes.
is
Amazing.
Colleen gonna be there? Did you just said we will too?
Yeah, she's coming.
Next, I'll tell Jared to be available. Also,
Oh,
I
wait,
got
does
a
Caleb need to
also
be
be there.
available?
What?
Does Caleb need to be available?
For wine tasting? It's up
does
to
he
him.
need
Like,
to or does he want to?
Yeah, it's
I wasn't
You
sure.
can bring Klaus. You're drinking in your house.
yeah. You're getting 3 bottles of wine. You're gonna need a
3
little help.
bottles. Oh my gosh, that's exciting.
What's
You
this?
know, I just got a Christmas present from my dad. He sent us a box of Omaha steaks, which I didn't even know that was a thing. And I looked in it. It's
Yeah.
not just Omaha steaks, it's 2 full dinners for 4 people,
That's
including
amazing.
like there's like lobster tails and like
Wow.
desserts, like all this crazy stuff. It's gonna take us a month to eat that if anybody
That's
wants
awesome.
to break COVID rules and come over for
Wow.
dinner.
It's ritzy.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I know.
All right, I gotta go on a call. I gotta jump on a call with Steve Harvey.
Okay,
So,
we'll wrap up.
all right, I'll see you
Here's
guys.
the announcements. Bye,
Yep.
John.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, so next week is our holiday spectacular.
I hope it's spectacular. You guys are going to
Where
be playing
Goblin.
crazy goblins who are mad at a different department.
And then we are off the 26th, I'm assuming.
Yes, the day after Christmas.
Yeah, because we normally need to die that day. Although we won't be out as late because we're not going to midnight liturgy.
Yeah.
And then the first is still up in the air what we're doing.
No,
I thought we were going to do something.
not on the first.
I thought we were.
No,
Why
I
not?
very distinctly said no to
I
that.
thought
one.
I disagreed with you.
Well, you're allowed to disagree. I'm not doing anything on the first.
We could do mine and John's Hitman episode.
Sure. We'll deal with that at a later time. The first, we're not doing anything. The first game of the next story arc will be the 8th then.
Let me double check the.
So goblins, then the 8th. We're just confirming timelines.
Yes, the 8th.
Okay. And yeah,
So I hope we see people next week. It'll be fun. And Yeah.
Thanks again, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
All right.
All right.
Do we kill it?